My name is Dr. Nicole Gipson. I completed my master's degree in Anglophone Studies at the University of Lyon, France in 2015. I obtained my doctoral degree in American Studies from the University of Manchester in 2020. My research areas are poverty in America in the 20th century more broadly, and race, gender, and social policy, 20th century welfare reform, and housing precarity and homelessness in the built environment in the US, more specifically. I draw on multidisciplinary methods and theoretical frameworks in the social sciences, particularly in the fields of sociology and political science. My goal is to obtain a macro picture of the transformation of poverty in America over time to make larger claims which incorporate these macro structures and create field shaping paradigms such as my signature theory, the third ghetto.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ahmed Honeini. I am an honorary research associate in American literature at Royal Holloway University of London. I completed my doctorate on American novelist author William Faulkner in 2018, and since then I've published widely on Faulkner, including my monograph, William Faulkner and Mortality, A Fine Dead Sound, which came out with Routledge in the summer of 2021. I have work forthcoming on Edgar Allan Poe, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Cormac McCarthy, and I'm currently at work on my second monograph, focusing on homes, families, and familial exiles in the plays of Tennessee Williams.
While finishing my bachelor's degree in philosophy at George Mason University in Virginia, I did a 6-month internship with the Community for Creative Nonviolence in Washington, D.C. I lived in this shelter with the homeless and worked in the shelter library, helped raise funds, and organized cultural events for our homeless community residents. Even though I was thoroughly engaged in this internship, after I finished it, I always felt that I hadn't done enough to help the homeless, particularly in getting the word out about the plight of the extreme poor living on America's streets. Years later, when I was deciding what to do for my PhD, it seemed logical to return to homelessness specifically and poverty in America more broadly to raise awareness about vulnerable homeless street populations and to promote their agency through my research. I realized that American studies would allow me to historicize the more intersectional aspects of homelessness, such as race, gender, class, and housing precarity in the 20th century.
I grew up reading American literature, so The Great Gatsby, The Catcher in the Rye, A Streetcar Named Desire, even the occasional Stephen King book, but I originally didn't intend on pursuing American studies as a career or field of study. In my first year of university, I was actually intent on pursuing a career in modernist studies, so James Joyce, T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf. But the key moment for me was reading Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury during my second year of university, which was a life-changing experience for me. In fact, I knew instinctively that Faulkner was what I wanted to study and that the Faulkner universe was where I wanted to be. And so I started reading his novels and his short stories compulsively from that point onwards. And then I became fascinated with 20th century American literature more broadly. Works published between 1900 to 1945 from authors including Ernest Hemingway, Scott Fitzgerald, Richard Wright, James Baldwin, Arthur Miller, Vladimir Nabokov, and of course Tennessee Williams, all of whom are connected one way or another to Faulkner.
Well, I was looking for a journal with enough vision to publish an article on my signature third ghetto thesis. My colleagues recommended the Journal of American Studies Towards the end of the lockdown, I was able to successfully go through the journal's rigorous peer review process and to publish my article with Jas entitled Making the Third Ghetto: Race, Gender, and Family Homelessness in Washington, D.C. from 1977 to 1989. The online version was published in March of 2022, and the printed version was published in December.
The journal has been the home of some of the most notable scholarship published on William Faulkner and indeed American literature more broadly on this side of the Atlantic, particularly by critics such as Richard Gray and McGidley, and so I became aware of the journal's activities that way while completing my doctorate.
There are three areas in which the journal has made its mark on the field of American studies. The first is its fight to retain its in-print services despite ongoing pressure to move towards exclusively digital platforms. The Journal of American Studies has successfully maintained both digital and print formats. The second way JAS is having an impact is through the opportunities it gives to early career scholars to publish their work. By doing so, the journal not only contributes to the in-depth analysis of current American studies scholarship, but also provides these ECR scholars with a chance to set the agenda for future research in the field. The third way JAS is making its mark is its decision to expand the book review section and make it more diverse and inclusive by deciding to actually give BIPOC scholars such as Ahmed and I the opportunity to be a part of the journal. We're able to bring our unique vision to the scholarship in American studies, and we're excited to work on our new signature strands.
The journal allows a platform for all voices in American studies, not just those operating in literature, but also across the broad spectrum of American studies, such as African American studies, history, politics, religion, gender and sexuality. The list is endless. By encompassing these voices, the journal allows various disciplines to enter into a conversation with one another, typically in the space of one issue or of a particular volume. And so new aspects or new shades of American studies are discovered through that conversation, through that dialogue.
In January, Florida's Board of Education officially banned AP African American Studies based on the fact that it contained concepts forbidden under the state's Individual Freedom Act, or as it's commonly known, the Stop Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees, or Stop Woke Act. There are 8 categories of concepts that were banned under this new legislation, including structural racism, critical race theory, and intersectionality. Based on this law, which is fully backed by Florida Governor DeSantis, authors such as Kimberly Crenshaw, Bell Hooks, Roderick Ferguson, Angela Davis, and Ta-Nehisi Coates were removed from the curriculum. By criminalizing educator speech, this Orwellian ban sets a dangerous precedent that could encourage other red states to implement their own bans. Criminalizing educator speech also poses a threat to the future of high school education, as other subjects could lose autonomy as to the content of their curriculum. Or why not take aim at university level education? The freedom to educate goes beyond mere political expediency or even culture wars. Professor Kimberly Crenshaw summarizes the situation by saying, "What this entire moment is making clear is that it's time for institutions to be heard, to make their positions known about the effort to censor, suppress, and silence."
Speaking from my perspective as an early career British scholar from a Middle Eastern background, two central challenges facing the field today are inclusivity and academic precarity. There simply aren't enough scholars from a BIPOC background being able to thrive in the field, which is made infinitely worse because of an ever-decreasing job market. And some of the best voices in the field, some of the best new voices, are being forced to leave academia prematurely because of these issues of precarity, and also because of toxic work environments, professional animosity, and a wholesale inability to survive in this climate.